So I attempted the linked list thing with fairly little instructions. So bear with me if it's not what you expect. Um, what I've got is an element, which is going to be the nodes in our linked list. They must have a value and they possibly have a next element. And then I went on to implement an actual list, which behaves like a stack. So you can push and pop values onto it, um, which seems useful. But then to actually make this really usable, I thought I should implement something like enumerable, so you could use it like you would an array or a stack and actually go through each element. So implemented the each block and included enumerable. Sure, there are many things that I've done that are not entirely Ruby-ist because I come from the land of JavaScript and TypeScript. Um, and I am slowly learning about writing Ruby the hard way.
The hard way. But you've done great. And have you written a linked list before?
The last time I wrote linked lists would have been sometime in high school when I was learning to write C and on the demo scene. And like the only time I've ever had to use linked lists was when I couldn't reliably allocate enough memory to hold the things I wanted to hold, right?
Sure.
And so otherwise you just use an array because it's way easier.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so this was not necessarily a challenge of understanding how a linked list worked. It was more how the hell do I fit Ruby into that?
Yeah, so this was the first time I actually wrote Ruby from scratch. Like I've hacked a lot of Ruby, but I've never actually had to write it from scratch. Like start from a blank folder and just go from there. So that was a lot of fun.
Great, cool. And as you've got specs there as well, which is awesome. Um,
Yep.
cool. And,
Cool.
and it took you an hour, so that was fast. Great. Cool.
Well, I knew roughly what the API would look like.
Yeah.
It was more working out what Ruby needed to do. Yeah.
Great. Thanks. Does anyone have any questions?